What I would like to do in this discussion is to provide a framework for this assignment problem. This is a problem related to full costing, and the ultimate goal is that we identify the full costing associated to our primary mission centers, including physician services, laboratory testing, and pharmacy. What you also notice is that there are 3 support areas. Now, the complication related to this is the fact that the support areas provide support for not only the patient mission centers, but also for the other support services. What we go through is a step-by-step process, and it's very important that we actually go through this process through the steps that are actually identified and in the order in which they're identified. So if we look at the requirements, the first thing that we want to do is we want to allocate the clinical manager to the 3 patient mission centers. And we have a percentage here. Well, the clinical manager is making $90,000 a year. We see this number right here. And this is the cost center for which she, we'll call her a she, is working out of, physician services. However, she is providing services also to laboratory testing and pharmacy. So what we want to do is we want to reallocate her salary to these 3 areas. So we're going to plug in the total here of $90,000, and we're going to take this number away, and we're going to allocate that $90,000 based upon this percentage. So the first number is going to be the $90,000 times 40%, or 0.4. The laboratory testing is going to be the $90,000 times 0.3. And the same thing over here for pharmacy is going to be the $90,000 times 0.3. So we have a first allocation. And again, our first allocation is going to be allocating salaries of the physician manager, the clinical manager, to the 3 areas. The next item that we want to look at is allocating maintenance. So we have the maintenance. The total maintenance is $170,000. But what we want to do is we want to allocate that maintenance to everything else, including housekeeping, administration, physician services, laboratory, and pharmacy. What we're going to do is we're using the distribution numbers of depreciation. Now, one of the things that's important to understand is that we are allocating to everything except for maintenance. So the allocation, the depreciation, does not include maintenance. Well, what do we mean by this? Well, the first thing we want to do is we want to take these numbers, and I'm just using a quick trick here related to Excel, and we're going to transpose the titles. We're also going to transpose the actual depreciation. And what we're doing related to depreciation is we are attempting to allocate based upon, and I'll use the technical term, a pro rata distribution. So this is what we have here. We have $40,000 in depreciation expense for housekeeping. We have administration, $35,000. We have physician services of $20,000, laboratory of $70,000, and $50,000. So I think we did that right. So we want to get our total. The total is simply using the formula of the auto sum, and the auto sum is pulling up everything over here. So we have $215,000. Now, of the $215,000, the question is how much is related to housekeeping? And it's going to be a percentage, and it's going to be the $40,000 divided by the 215. Now, what I'm going to do is another little Excel trick, is I'm going to put a absolute reference here with a $sign. And the other thing is I'm going to create a percentage out of this. So what you see is I have B19 divided by B26. Okay, so I'm just going to drag this down, and because I use the absolute reference, everything is going to line up perfectly. So what do we have here? So what we're saying is that depreciation expense, 19% of this is allocated to housekeeping, 16% is allocated to administration, physician services 9, laboratory testing is 33, and pharmacy is 23. Now, what we want to do is we would like to take this total of the $170,000, and we have the $170,000. So we're going to sort of do our reverse here in the sense that we're going to equal what is 19% times $170,000. And again, we're going to put this absolute reference in here because that makes it nice and dandy when we are doing our allocation. Get rid of that 0 because that's not what we're looking for. And here's what we have. We have housekeeping for $31,000. We have administration for $27,000, physician services $15,000, and so forth. And we can now, and I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to try to put everything in a single cell, and let's see if this actually works. So what I would like to do is take these numbers, copy this, and we are going to put from housekeeping, and we're going to paste special. We're going to actually transpose this, and we don't want the formulas, we want the actual values. So let's see if this actually works, and it does actually work. So insert a row here, and what we're going to do is we're going to subtract the 170,000 here, and if we look at this total here, we're going to sum this total. This actually should be a 0. However, what you see now is that if we do our totals, our new total is maintenance is going to be 0, and these other numbers are going to look like this. Okay? So the interesting thing is that what we have is we have allocated the maintenance based upon depreciation to the remaining areas. So maintenance, $31,698 is allocated to housekeeping, and you see the other numbers here. So we have a net 0, but what we have ultimately is that our totals equal. We've just shifted the numbers around. The next item that you'll be working on your own is allocating housekeeping. Now, housekeeping is allocated based upon square feet. So within the problem, we have square feet, and the square feet totals are here. And essentially what we're wanting to do, and I'll let you do this on your own, is allocate the housekeeping based upon square feet. But again, we're not interested in maintenance square feet. We're not interested in housekeeping square feet. We're only interested in these numbers, administration and the patient mission centers. As we're looking at this, what you're attempting to do is exactly what I did before, is this pro rata distribution. Once we've allocated housekeeping, then we have administration. Administration is doing the exact same thing, but what you see is that we're allocating based upon labor hours as opposed to the square feet or depreciation. Now, once we have that, what we want to do is we want to determine the cost per visit. We want to determine the cost per laboratory tests and the cost per pharmacy. And we're doing this based upon the additional numbers here, including number of office visits, 15,000, number of laboratory testing, 25,000, and number of pharmacy prescriptions. So hopefully this will give you a start related to this problem. And if you have any questions, certainly reach out to me. Thank you.